Happening today, a large encampment is getting cleared out in St. Paul.
So we're getting a better idea this morning of how this will all play out. And we're also expecting an update from city leaders. We want to check in with our Barrett Leone, who joins us live in St. Paul. And Barrett, we can see in that last hour just how much the crowds of people have grown out there.
Yeah, dozens of people now out here, advocates here to share resources and other items before this closure process starts in just 2 hours at 8 o'clock. Now, this site closure rather, will be the first under St. Paul's new coordinated transition plan, but this plan has been controversial since the start. You can see items here, suitcases, water bottles, first aid kits here to help folks in need who are being displaced this morning. And advocates, they're raising concerns about where people will go once this camp is cleared. The city says drug use, assaults, and fires are driving up 911 calls and making it too dangerous for the roughly 140 people living here at Pig's Eye Park. And ahead of today's closures, city officials say they've focused on outreach, connecting people living in the camp with shelter, housing, and health services. The city says they've added emergency shelter capacity through Ramsey County, and outreach teams will continue to work with residents and help them move and connect them with resources. For anyone that refuses to leave, the city says they'll continue their 4E's approach: engagement, education, encouragement, and enforcement as a last resort. The city even designated an area for protesters in anticipation, saying in part, this is a difficult day and we ask that everyone present allow the process to proceed safely, adding that our focus throughout the day remains connecting people to shelter and services. Now, the city says this clear out will happen and take part throughout the entire day. We also anticipate to hear from city leaders around 8 o'clock this morning. We will have crews here on site and bring you the very latest here on WCCO.
Hey, Barrett, real quick, do we know, are police expected to be out there to help with these closures, or do you know how that process is going to play out?
Yep. They are already on scene here to my left. So a couple squad cars here present. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, we'll be there. Barrett, thank you.
We also know that safety and efficiency are top of mind for one Minneapolis City Council member. Want to get you caught up on the live desk with Maria Lisignoli, because Maria, this has to do with railroad crossings and trains?
Yes, and railroad crossings are notorious for long waits in the Camden neighborhood. I mean, people say they've been stuck waiting for a train for as long as 40 minutes sometimes. And check this out. Cameras captured people climbing over stopped trains, trying to beat it, and getting across the tracks, and then sometimes even getting stuck under crossing arms. So now a city council member says she's working towards a solution. City council member Latricia Vita says she's helped secure $2 million in federal funding for the fix. She says the city and the railroad company are also pitching in another $500,000. They're considering an overpass, an underpass, or even a pedestrian bridge.
That would be dope. I think that would be amazing, actually.
I think an overpass, underpass at Lindale would make the most sense as far as cars coming and going.
Councilmember Vita did not share the exact timeline for the project, but said they'll be planning to meet with the public as they make more decisions on this.
All right. I mean, some big changes.
Yeah.
All right. Could be coming, but we shall see. Maria, thank you. In less than a week, we could know who is in the running, to help lead Minnesota. State's primary election will be Tuesday, August 11th. One of the biggest races is for Minnesota's next governor. So President Donald Trump endorsed GOP candidate Mike Lindell, who just yesterday announced that he will be stepping down as the CEO of MyPillow. This is to focus on his campaign. But Minnesota's Republican Party is trying to figure out if Lindell is even eligible for office. Late last week, the GOP party chair asked for what he called emergency guidance on Lindell's residency status. That's because a court document from last year listed Texas as Lindell's home, but Lindell says there's no issue here.
I started paying Minnesota taxes on August 10th of 2025. I pay state taxes. I live here. I'm a resident. Okay, I wouldn't come back here to run for governor and not become a resident.
So on Tuesday, the Secretary of State here in Minnesota said that Lindell did file all the correct paperwork to run, but he also said that eligibility challenges have to be submitted to the Supreme Court. State GOP endorsement for governor went to Kendall Qualls. The Republican House Speaker Lisa Demuth is also running in that primary. Now, whoever wins will likely go up against Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar in the November election. And happening later this morning, all 4 candidates are expected to participate in a debate over at Farm Fest. This is in Morgan, Minnesota this year. It's an annual gathering of farmers, agribusinesses, and political leaders who focus on improving and growing the farming industry.
And just yesterday at Farm Fest, congressional candidates were in the spotlight. All the 1st and 2nd congressional delegates were seated and questioned together. The real contest, though, for this primary, that's in the 2nd Congressional District DFL primary. Minnesota's 2nd District. It is the only open district in Minnesota, currently held by Democratic Representative Angie Craig. Remember, she's running for the U.S. Senate this year, and it's also the most evenly divided district between Republicans and Democrats in the entire state. So all 3 DFL candidates do have a history of election wins in the district. Representative Caleb Berg, Senator Matt Klein, and former Lakeville Mayor and State Senator Matt Little. The 2nd District, look at the area, though. It contains suburban areas in Woodbury, Burnsville, Inver Grove Heights. It stretches down to Scott and Dakota, LeSueur counties as well. Tuesday's debate focused on farm policy.
I still live paycheck to paycheck, even as a state legislator. I still have to do my 2nd job, which is as a flight attendant, to make ends meet.
I am eager to take a physician's voice to Congress in this moment when medical assistance cuts are going to devastate rural health care and rural economies. I can talk to everybody. I can talk to a farmer in Meesville, or I can talk to a super liberal person in Minneapolis about these issues, and we're going to get it done for you.
Now, Republican State Senator Eric Pratt was also at the forum. He's running in the 2nd Congressional District with no major primary opposition, which gives him a big advantage over the DFL candidates. Also happening today at Farm Fest, a U.S. Senate candidate forum. That will include Democratic candidates Representative Angie Craig, Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and on the GOP side, candidates Michelle Tafoya and Royce White.
An investigation is underway. This is after a man was arrested over the weekend carrying ammunition near the Trump National Golf Club in Los Angeles County. Now, this was just days before the president's planned visit to California for an RNC event.
Agents reported the 38-year-old appeared to take photographs while behaving what they say is suspiciously at the Rancho Palos Verdes course. This was Saturday afternoon. The deputies who arrested him say they found hollow point bullets in the suspect's pocket and then discovered a gun and more bullets in his car. They say they also found additional weapons and notebooks with what investigators described as concerning statements in his home. Todd Blanche has moved another step closer to being sworn in as Attorney General.
On Tuesday, the Senate Judiciary Committee voted 12-10 to support President Trump's nomination of Blanche. Now, that sets the stage for a formal vote on the Senate floor. Blanche, who had served as the president's personal criminal attorney, has been operating as the acting Attorney General since Pam Bondi was ousted back in April.